Hey there, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to build your first TikTok campaign. This will include my recommendations for audiences to start with, number of creatives, conversion best practices. I'm literally going to tell you exactly how I would set up a campaign if a new e-commerce brand wanted to work with me and this was their first time advertising on TikTok. This is exactly how I would set it up for. Note that when I'm building this, I'm keeping in mind this is a new pixel. I'm gonna have to season the pixel a bit. So all of the things I mentioned in the previous videos still apply. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so we are in TikTok Ads Manager. This is what it will look like if you're under the campaign tab. This is essentially where your campaigns, ad groups, and ads will live. So to start, you're gonna click Create on Campaign. Now for e-commerce sales, I always click conversions as the goal. And I'm going to just name this launch campaign. Now, some people have asked me, do I like campaign budget optimization on TikTok? Do I not? What's funny, on Facebook, I'm so pro campaign budget optimization. TikTok, I'm the opposite. Do not do campaign budget optimization on TikTok. Does not work nearly as good as not setting it up. So do not click these things. All right. Okay, so on the ad group level, my typical naming convention goes something like this. I usually start with the date. So I'll do 2/2. And then the next thing I put is the optimization. So because it's a brand new ad account, it's for e-commerce, I'm going to start with my top of the funnel, like highest in the funnel, optimization event that is still relevant. So that's going to be add to cart for e-commerce. And then next I'm going to put my targeting. So I found on TikTok for all my ad accounts that targeting interests, like stacking a bunch of interests together into one ad set, has outperformed lookalikes, has outperformed completely broad targeting. So pretty much I exclusively use interest stacking in my ad sets. So I'm going to put stacked interests. And lastly, I put the bidding strategy, which is always lowest cost. All right, so that's a good naming convention. Secondly, choose if you want to promote your app or your website. And then you're going to select your pixel here and your optimization event. So for us, I'm doing add to cart. And then this is going to ask for your placements. Now, I like to manually select placement and just do TikTok because I don't want to show up on BuzzFeed video or Pangle. Some of these are location specific. So on some targeting locations, you won't even show up on these. You'll only show up on TikTok. But just to be extra safe with our budget, I just like to do select manual placement and do TikTok only. This is also helpful for Spark ads, which are like the influencer whitelisting post ads that you can do on TikTok. If you are doing Spark ads, it will say like this can only run on TikTok, can't run on their audience network. So I like choosing TikTok only. For users commenting on your ads, and even TikTok says right here, like we recommend you keep this on. And I do too. I think comments can really help with ad performance, especially if it's getting a lot of engagement, because that's how TikTok algorithm works. It's based off of, if you just think about when you're watching TikTok videos of your friends or people posting, the way the algorithm works is that it learns to serve you videos based off of what you engage with. And it learns to put more videos on the For You page that have more engagement, better watch time, more comments, more shares. Ads are treated very similarly in the auction as the organic posts are when TikTok decides who to share, what videos with who, and how much distribution to get each video. So having the ability for users to comment does help with engagement. I would say be extra on top of the comment moderation. And I have the video that explains how to do comment moderation on TikTok and my best practices for that. So leave this on, but be mindful that you may get negative comments or questions that you are going to want to address, because if you have a lot of negative comments, that is going to really hurt your ad performance, because a lot of people will click on the comments before they actually go to the website. And if all the comments are saying, oh, the product's bad, don't buy this, or whatever it is, that may hurt your ad performance. So monitor the comments, but keep comments on because you want positive engagement. I think TikTokers almost think it's inauthentic when brands don't allow comments on their ads. Then they think like, what are they hiding? Like, why don't they want people to comment? And it hurts ad performance because you don't get that engagement. So I would leave that on. I also leave on letting videos be downloaded. I don't really see an issue with that. Now, this is interesting. This is called automated creative optimization. I do not recommend doing this. I recommend this is kind of like dynamic creative testing in Facebook ads. I would recommend building out your TikTok ads as individual ads as opposed to selecting this and uploading a lot of variations. I haven't seen it perform better in any account over the years I've been testing this. I just do the regular ads, so do not switch this on. All right, so on to audience targeting. Now here's if you want to include or exclude a custom audience, like if this was a retargeting campaign and you wanted to show your ads to people who have engaged with your ads or been to your website in the last X amount of days. So, or if you want to do exclusions. I personally, like I said, this is my default ad account setup. I don't include or exclude any custom audiences. Just leave that blank. Especially since this ad set is 100% for prospecting, like getting new people. I don't want to limit it by having a custom audience in the inclusions. And I also don't want exclusions on the ad set as well. I want to get as broad of a reach as possible. And for those wondering, if you don't have exclusions on your ad sets, is that going to serve your ads to people who have been to your website like Facebook does? Like, as a Facebook media buyer, if I don't exclude like my last 180 days of website traffic or even last 30 days just of traffic from my Facebook campaigns, Facebook is smart enough to where it will serve ads to people who are like most likely to purchase, which are people who have been to the site recently. Therefore, as you increase your budget on prospecting, if you don't have exclusions on Facebook, you end up just hitting the same people over and over and over again. I have not found that to be the case on TikTok. I don't think TikTok's algorithm is quote unquote as smart as Facebook's to where it recognizes that a user has been to your site and then it's going to retarget them on TikTok with 100 ads. Like most people who are receiving ads on TikTok are seeing ads from brands they've never heard about, never been to their site. So I have not had a problem with not having exclusions on the ad sets and just increasing budget, but not having it hit my existing customers or existing website visitors. So it's not as big of a deal as Facebook, where I would 100% recommend you need exclusions on your ad sets. So little aside there. Demographics, that's pretty clear. Targeting. A lot of the brands I work with are female focused, and I know people can make the argument like for instance, like makeup, skincare, leggings. Some people are going to say like, oh, like, yeah, like some men may purchase for their girlfriends or wives, but honestly, if my product is mostly targeted towards women, I'm just going to select women for the gender targeting and not include men in there, and vice versa. So I like to choose one or the other. Age, another thing. I would, unless you're trying to reach 13 to 17 year olds because you have a product that is specifically targeting teenagers, I would exclude them from your ad set targeting. The reason being is that when you start spending on your ads, it will put a lot of the budget towards 13 and 17 because 13 and 17 year olds, they will click on the shop now button, they will go to the site, but the conversion rate is super low. So when you end up analyzing the data of how your ad set performed, you'll see that a lot of the budget went to 13 to 17 year olds, but they were the lowest converting. So I exclude them 99% of the time. So I'll do like 18 to 55 plus. Now, if I know my product is also not very geared towards the older demographic, like if I know like 90% of my purchases are between like ages like 18 and 44, especially if I'm starting on TikTok with like a limited budget, I might leave it a bit more segmented, like 18 to 44. I would say it's not as dangerous to leave the older demographics in there, because sometimes you'll get some extra sales from like 55 plus, but TikTok won't like go crazy and spend on them because there's such a large audience on TikTok of people who are 13 to 17. If you give TikTok the ability to spend on them, if you say it's okay, they will, and they'll spend a lot of the budget there. So not as much of an issue if you include 18 plus all the way up to 55 plus. TikTok's not going to go crazy and spend all the budget on 55 plus because there's just not that many of those users on the platform, where 13 to 17 represents the majority of users. So, all right. Languages, I always just leave all, even if I'm just targeting US. I mean, I could do English, but I've always just left it as all and seen that work the best. Now, this is where I'm going to start stacking my interests. So let's say I was making ads for a brand that sold leggings. I would just choose some very broad interest categories. So like beauty and personal care. That seems like something that people who buy leggings would do. You'll see some of them are kind of random that they include in here, but that's completely fine. Like I've seen stacks in the most random interests do well. So don't be afraid that like, even if you're selling leggings, don't be like, oh, well, why would I target wig and hairstyling, like, or oral care? Just include it all. You want to be as broad as possible. You don't want to like just nitpick interests that are perfect, because what will happen once you start spending on TikTok, and this is something I'm going to cover in another video, you are going to want to periodically check back up on your ad sets, because when you check back in on your ad sets, and what I mean by that is you click edit on the ad set and you go to the interests, TikTok will actually recommend you new interest to add. They'll say, basically, based off of your last 7 days of spend, I think that if you add these 10 interests, your ad set will perform better. It's a little button, and you click that button and it will add all of TikTok's recommended interests to your ad set, and that will help your TikTok ad performance. Seems so easy, but a lot of people that like ask me questions about TikTok are like, should I push this button? Like, is this a bad thing? Like, this seems like TikTok's recommending like that now. Like I sell leggings, but they're recommending I target like romance novels or like home appliances. Trust TikTok, trust their algorithm. They will seem random, but click the button that says like add interests, add recommended interest. And I do that every single week. So personally, I set a schedule for myself every Monday. I go through all my clients' active ad sets. I click edit on the ad set. I go to this area right here about interest and behaviors. And there's a button, like I mentioned, that has like, we think you should add these ad sets. And you click it, boom, click save. It will improve your ad performance. And that's just editing your existing ad set. That's not duplicating your old ad set and creating a new ad set. You're just going to find that button, click it, and click save. So let's add some more interest here, shall we? So I said that we're targeting a leggings brand. I'm going to do apparel and accessories. And this is also going to include a lot of extraneous interests. So that's where I would start. And you see up here, this available audience. You want it to be around this number, like 50 to 100 million is like the sweet spot. And it will say balanced. So if it says balanced and you're between like 50 million and 100 million users, that is, and you can even expand your targeting summary if you want to look at what it is. This is about the range you want to be. You don't want to be super broad, because like we did limit this ad set. Like we did exclude 13 to 17. So that was a lot of people we excluded. We excluded males. We chose a couple pretty broad interests. So I would say in general, this is a very broad ad set, but at the same time, like it is like sort of refined to like my categories and to the gender and ages of people who I think are most likely to purchase. So this is a good place to be, like this balanced area. So that is that. I have personally seen the best result just when I just started out on TikTok, just messing with interests. You can add like behavioral interactions, like people who have watched to the end, liked, commented, shared on beauty and style videos in the last 7 days. And you see, it won't really affect your targeting audience here, because really what this means is that anyone who falls into this is going to fall into this broader interest. Like, by adding this in, you're not necessarily reaching a new audience beyond this, because these people are already included in this. So it's kind of like no harm. If you want to include this, it's fine. But if you are selecting some rather broad interest categories up here, even if you add in some behavioral targeting, you're not going to see this jump up. So take it or leave it. This one, you can target people who have interacted with certain creators. And when this first came out, I was super excited about it. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, if another brand I know is selling leggings and I want to target all of their followers or people who view their profile. But when I tested it, it didn't perform well as like just the general interest stacking. I think that the ad sets became too narrow. It just didn't work. It sounds like it would work really well though. Like, you're targeting people who are following other profiles that are similar to you. But when I tested it, it did not work as well as like this strategy of like broad interest and then using TikTok's recommended interest when they recommend them. Same for this, like hashtags. Personally, also was very excited when this came out and did not see it have a positive effect on ads by adding in different hashtags into the targeting. So I'm going to leave those out. I wouldn't recommend those. I would start here. Interests, you can add in some behaviors if you want. Won't hurt, won't help. This is really the meat of it. Just include some stacks of interests together. And if you want to add in like some of their recommended stuff here too, that's also fine. Like I said, as long as this stays in like this range of balanced and you're picking some interests that are relevant to your category, you'll be okay. And what you pick initially isn't that important as well. It's directional. It's especially for a brand new ad account. Like, you don't want to just have completely broad so TikTok has no idea who to serve your ads to, but you want to give it just a little bit of direction. But ultimately, once your video starts serving, TikTok's algorithm is going to take over the targeting for you. And these interests really don't matter. Especially because we're going to turn on targeting expansion. This little button, there's so many little buttons where I'm like, if you click this, your ads will do bad. If you click this, your ads will do good. This is one of those positive buttons. You want to click this, it will help your ad performance. And I always click interests and behaviors. So what this means, enabling targeting expansion will increase your chance of reaching a broader audience and achieving more conversions. It's only available for settings that you've tried to avoid. Now, I don't like expanding gender because, like I said, if I'm trying to sell leggings to women, I don't want it just to like start randomly serving to men. Have not seen success with that. Like, I want to say kind of targeted with the gender. Age, I also don't want to do that because that essentially allows TikTok to start spending towards 13 to 17. I don't want that. But interest in behaviors, this is where you kind of rely on TikTok's algorithm. As your ads start spending, TikTok will refine your targeting for you to expand your audience and reach new interests. Now, this is in addition. I still go into the ad set every week and I click edit and you'll see the button up here. If TikTok is recommending new interests to add, I still go and add those every week. I wouldn't say do it more often than a week. I would say once a week is the perfect time to come in here and add in the interests that they're recommending, but also keep this on. This just makes it a bit more flexible. And you can see it already bumped up my estimated reach. Before it was like 60 to 70. Now it's 74 to 90 million. I'm still in that sweet spot, like under 100 million. And that's like right where I want to be. Still balanced, not super broad, not narrow. This is a good place. Now, you already know what budget to do because you followed my budget calculator video. But I'll just set a budget for $300. And I just usually say start running ads immediately. Do not day part. I'm going to leave it at that. So I know some people will come in and say, I only want to serve ads from 9 a.m. to midnight. No, do not touch this. It will make the performance of your ads worse if you limit the algorithm and tell it you can only want it to serve certain times a day. Just serve it all day. Thank you. I only say thank you because I know these are such like little things where brands will come to me and they'll say like, oh, TikTok's not working. And then I'll go into their ad sets and I'm like, well, why are you day parting? Like, why are you targeting 13 to 17? Why are you doing campaign budget optimization? There are things that you literally flip a switch and it can improve your ad performance so much. It's kind of like those little secrets that you learn because I've been doing this for years now of like, don't click this, make sure to click that. This doesn't work, do that, which can be so intimidating for a new advertiser on the platform, but that's why I'm here for you. I'm here just to tell you all the secrets straight up of what works and what doesn't. So here's another thing. Always lowest cost. And what's in advanced settings? I think this is just for if you're doing a different conversion type, you can get billed. Like if you're doing a traffic campaign, you can choose to get billed based off of clicks versus CPM. But 100% of the time for my e-commerce clients, I'm going to optimize for conversions up here and then lowest cost. Now, the only caveat to this is I do like value optimization when optimizing for purchase. And I'm going to have a separate video about that. But for a brand new ad account, you can't optimize for value. And right now, value optimization is even in beta. But I'm hoping by the time this course that comes out that it's available to everybody. That's something that I will definitely cover in another video. But for now, what's important when you're starting a new TikTok ad account, click conversions, click lowest cost, and you'll be good to go. All right, now to the fun part, the ad creatives. So for TikTok, I think the sweet spot for number of ads is 3 to 5 ads per ad set at a time that are on. If you get more than 5, what TikTok will do is it'll kind of just pick one ad and it'll just put all the budget towards that and it won't even get all the other variations a chance. If you only put in 1 or 2, I would say that's not enough because TikTok does like to fluctuate between which ads it's spending on per day. Kind of likes to test, especially if TikTok's realizing one creative is fatiguing, it'll start ramping up on another. So you want to give it options, but at the same time, you don't want to give it too many options. So 3 to 5 ads at a time when you start your TikTok ad account. And I'll go through and explain later like how I go in and when I enter in new creatives, how I kill old ones. But assuming this is your first time advertising on TikTok's brand new campaign, 3 to 5 ads, try to make them pretty different from each other so you can either test different value props, different hooks in the video. I like to test the same caption and the same landing page across ads when I first start a new TikTok ad account. I don't want to have too many variables that are different. Really, the variable I'm most interested in testing first is the actual video ad creative. So I'm going to leave the caption and a landing page the same, but change the video. I'll have like 5 different TikTok UGC videos that I'm testing. So creative name, it will like auto generate a name. I usually like to do the date and like the creative type. So maybe I can do like try on haul. It just helps for when you're analyzing your creatives too, to have like a clean naming convention. So you can be like, oh, this video performed better than this, as opposed to like video 112587 performed better than video string of numbers. So I like to keep it clean like that. Now this is But I was talking about in terms of Spark ads, which I will have another video on. And so when I'm first launching a TikTok ad account, I don't do any Spark ads. I just do regular ads. So we won't worry about that for now. And you can either choose to run you can connect your organic TikTok account to your TikTok ad account to run ads, or you can kind of do it the quote unquote old fashioned way, which is just you upload a profile picture and then you enter in your display name. So like Savannah's leggings, and it'll show it. And you can literally put in anything here. I think as long as it's appropriate, and choose any profile picture. So that's two ways of doing it. There's no advantage really of doing one versus the other. I sometimes like connecting my TikTok. If a client has an organic TikTok, I'll just connect it to the ad account so it can just run through that account, or I'll just use their name and upload their profile picture. It's not going to affect performance either way. Now, single videos versus collection ads. Collection ads, one of those things that was really hyped up last year by TikTok, and I tried it on a lot of clients and it did not work for anyone nearly as good as just the regular single video ads. What the collection ads will do is, like, if you're on Shopify, it will pull in your product catalog and it will show your products on like a feed to TikTok users instead of going to your site. Did not work for anyone. So I'm going to say save yourself some money and don't click it. Let's go with single video. Here is where you will upload your video. You can upload your videos to your library, like under creatives, if you would rather do that. I don't like using TikTok's create tool. I think their video editor is a little janky. I would prefer to use the editing tools I'm going to mention later in this course of how to create TikTok videos. So have your videos ready before you're launching your campaign is my advice. So I usually just click upload and I'll have the file on my desktop and I'll upload the video. And then for the caption, I like to keep it very short and sweet, like 5 words or less, because if you start making it too long, what will happen? Like if I'm like, buy these leggings, they are so comfortable. And okay, so you see right here, it starts doing ... You don't want anything to be like ... Like you want it to be, all right here. So 5 words or less. Website, this is where you're going to enter in your website. You're going to want to add your UTM to the end of the URL. And then I don't do disclaimers because I don't need any disclaimers, but if you're in certain industries, I assume you might. I usually don't check this box. This basically allows it to be shown on the creative library. And then click submit. And then your ads are live. And if you want to add more ads here, you just click add here and you can add your 3 to 5 ads. And that is how you launch your first campaign.